Baseball is back. Here to make some predictions before the first spring training game are Giuseppe, Craig, Antonio, and Samantha. Let's get right into it. Now, fellas, there's a lot of players going into this season that have to prove themselves. Antonio, we'll start with you. Who's got to prove themselves the most?
I think we're seeing with the local teams, I think the obvious choice is Matt Harvey. I mean, look what he did last season with the 4-10, the 4.86 ERA. He did have that thoracic outlet syndrome, and he did have the surgery, and we've now found out that after he actually he couldn't feel his hand for about 4 to 5 days. But there we see the win-loss at the 4-10, the 4.86 ERA, only 76 strikeouts through the entire season. His season was cut down short, but hopefully the Mets fans, like myself and Craig over here, we're hoping that we see the Dark Knight instead of Matt Harvey.
Yeah, I'm going to go with another player in the NL East. I'm going to go with Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper had a very disappointing season last year compared to his 2015 campaign. If you look at the graphic here, he hit 243 with only 24 homers and 86 RBIs. The home runs and RBIs are normal, but the average was way down compared to 2015 where he hit 330. So I think Bryce Harper really has to step it up for the Nationals.
And I'm going to jump on the pitcher train here with Antonio. I'm going to go Michael Pineda for the New York Yankees. When the Yankees got him, he was supposed to be their second best starter, right behind Masahiro Tanaka. But as you see there, he went 6-12 in 2016. He pitched 175 innings, so he didn't even pitch a full season because he kept on getting hurt, with an ERA just under 5 at 4.8. So Michael Pineda really needs to step it up, and I think this is a career-defining season for him.
Samantha?
All right, I went with Edinson Valquez. He is the starter for the Marlins. After the loss of Jose Fernandez, I really think that he needs to step up now. You see here his win-loss is 10-11. He pitched 189 innings. His ERA was 5.37. Jose Fernandez had one of 2.86. So if the Marlins have any chance of moving themselves up, they need a good pitcher, and this guy needs to help them.
We'll keep it with you. There's a lot of prospects now coming up, and they can have a huge impact on their teams. Which prospect sticks out the most to you?
I chose JP Crawford. He is with the Phillies. He plays for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. He's a shortstop. You see here his average is 250. He has 7 home runs, 43 RBIs. But most what stands out with him is that he has a very strong throwing arm. He has good range. He's not quick, but if he can get to the ball and get it to first base or whatever base he needs to make it out at, they've got it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of young talent coming up very soon. The guy I'm going with is Dansby Swanson of the Atlanta Braves. A lot of people don't know that Dansby was the top prospect that was picked. He was the #1 draft pick overall in 2015 before being traded to the Braves for Shelby Miller from the Diamondbacks. And Dansby, as you see here, he only played 38 games coming into the end of last season. So he still has his rookie status, and with the .302 batting average that he had in just 38 games, I see this guy coming up with a Bryce Harper caliber season, the Bryce Harper of 2015 when he won the NL MVP award.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Yoan Moncada. He was the blue chip prospect that was traded for Chris Sale from the Red Sox to the White Sox, and many scouts are comparing this guy to a young Robinson Cano with his bat speed. And if you look at his year last year in the minors, he hit 294, 15 homers, 62 RBIs. He also had 45 steals on the year. This guy is going to come up for the White Sox, and he's going to do big things there.
Let's look at the #1 overall prospect that was rated by MLB.com. Let's go Andrew Benintendi of the Boston Red Sox. He's an outfielder. He had some time in the major leagues already this past season. Only had 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. But we saw the potential that he had with in the minors. He also had 8 home runs and 44 RBIs. But we also saw a great outfield, a great glove, a very good arm. He's going to be a very good player in this league for years to come.
Now, there's been a lot of transactions that have happened. It's been a really crazy offseason, if we're going to be honest. What signing has been the biggest for you?
For me, it's a team that lost World Series in Cleveland. They got Edwin Encarnacion. Cleveland, they're 18th in total home runs from major leagues last year. Edwin Encarnacion hit 42 home runs. He had the 263 average, 127 RBIs. This guy is the big power bat they need. When you see Cleveland, you just go down that lineup. No one really scares you. They now have that guy.
Yeah, I went with a Cuban player for my last answer, so I'm going to go with my favorite Cuban player for this answer, Yoenis Cespedes. He is the centerpiece of the New York Mets, and they needed him, and he was the best signing, 4 years, $110 million. If you look at his stats from last year, he hit 280, 31 homers, 86 RBIs. And if you look at Yoenis Cespedes, with the Mets, they're 106 and 75 with him. Without him, 18 and 23 when he doesn't play.
Big difference.
Guys, I'm going to go relief pitcher for this one, and I'm going Aroldis Chapman for the New York Yankees. He played a little bit for the Yankees last season before being traded to the Cubs, and you see here he pitched 58 innings, 36 saves, with an ERA of 1.55 and 90 strikeouts. This guy he's going to be throwing over 100 miles per hour for the next 3 years. I give that a solid 3 years before he starts going under 100 miles per hour on a daily basis. So watch out for Aroldis Chapman.
I went with catcher Alex Avila. He was with the Tigers for a really long time. He left, I believe, to go with the White Sox. He's back now. He's not their #1 catcher, but as you see, he has a .213 batting average. He's a strong player, and with Justin Verlander on the mound, I think they have a very good chemistry because they've been teammates for so long, and I think he could help the Tigers this year.
That is a good point. To bring us an update on the biggest free agent still available, we have our correspondent, Dylan Burns.
With most of the league's top free agents already finding homes, one big name still remains unsigned. Switch hitting catcher Matt Wieters opted for free agency instead of signing a one-year deal with the Orioles. Wieters is a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, and free agent for the first time in his career. The Rays and the Orioles remain the top 2 teams in contention to sign the free agent. Other teams, including the Nationals, Braves, and the Mets, have also shown interest and will most likely turn this potential signing into an NL East bidding war.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Coming up next, we have the hockey crew back with the games on ice.